Media, Globalization, and Hybridization, paragraph 5 and 6 by Janine Chu. Cultural hybridity, often known as hybridization, is another viewpoint on globalization. Cultural hybridization refers to the convergence of different elements of various cultures. The term culture hybridization refers to the fundamental hybridization process without any outside bias. In other words, cultural hybridization is the process through which several civilizations merge and incorporate to create a rich hybrid cultural perspective. These elements, such as food, language, fashion, or music, are modified from one culture to adhere to the cultural norms of another. This point of view gives understanding to the preference on how localization and globalization interact as a dynamic process and hybrid result of blended cultural forms. As a result, this viewpoint does not emphasize globalization as a homogenizing force and does not hold localization to be process that resist globalization. Under the hegemonic culture, or by which dominant culture maintains its dominant position, cultural hybridization is a latent variable that is not immediately apparent. A population using a dominant culture as a starting point for their culture formation initiates the process of cultural hybridization, which in this case, it is an intellectual subculture. In a simple way, the population responds to the dominant culture and could adapt some of its characteristics into a new culture. New cultures appeared as the result of cultural hybridization and now noticeable as a response to the fragmentation of cultural identity across the globe. The idea of hybridization resulting in multidisciplinary research shows that it's centered on post-colonialism, cultural studies, and performance studies are examples of intellectual endeavors. Researchers in international media studies are attempting to understand the intricate nuances of cultural globalization, and hybridization has been employed in communication and media studies and look to be fruitful theoretical orientation. And as a matter of fact, hybridization promotes a focus on mediation processes and is seen as essential to cultural globalization. The best example are language and how it can be distorted or molded to fit a generation, music that can unite and influence two different aspects in community or countries, and the multicultural consciousness of ideologies and culture within a decentralized setting. For Garcia Candini, an Argentinian and Mexican cultural critic, is one of the most significant figures that discuss cultural hybridity. Garcia Candini promotes a theoretical view of Latin American countries as hybrid culture in his 1995 book, Hybrid Cultures. His research is thorough and sharp, spanning a range of cultural activities and organizations, including political cartoons, graffiti, universities, television, film, and museum. Garcia Candini identifies three key characteristics of cultural hybridity. The first characteristic is the blending of formerly distinct cultural systems, like in the case of opera, an aristocratic art form with popular music. Deterritorialization is the second characteristic of hybridity. It is from their original physical environments to new and foreign situations of cultural process. The third aspect of cultural hybridity is the emergence of impure genres from mingling cultural spheres. When craftspeople in rural Mexico weave tapestries depicting masterpieces of art, it is an example of impure genres. European artists like Joan Miro well known for his graphic works that occupied a central place in his poetic vision, dramaticism, and cheerfulness, and Henri Matisse is known for his use of color and his fluid and original draughtsmanship. The combination of fine arts and traditional artisanship creates an impure hybrid genre. And that concludes the presentation. Thank you for watching.